Remember our good buddy Ale? Of course you do. You've spent some time together and are hopefully on your way to becoming BFFs. Oh sure, Ale can be a lot of fun. But did you know he has a deeper side? Ale may look pretty plain on the surface, but he's got a lot more to him than meets the eye. Each part of Ale represents an account category: assets, liabilities, and equity. However, equity actually has multiple account categories within it. The first subcategory under equity has two categories: capital or stock, and retained earnings. The capital or stock category is for accounts dealing with investments by owners of a company. For example, a corporation is owned by stockholders. The amount they invested in the company by purchasing stock is recorded in the stock accounts. Retained earnings is a category and an individual account. This is where the next subcategory in equity is found. Retained earnings is made up of three types of accounts: revenues, expenses, and dividends. Revenues record amounts that the company has earned in the course of business by selling products or providing services. Expenses record costs necessary to run the business operations. Dividends, like retained earnings, are a category and an account. These are distributions to the owners of the company. These are not repayments or returns of investments. Think of them more like a bonus to the owners. You didn't know Ale had so many layers, did you? Not only are there layers, but they change equity in different ways. The capital or stock accounts increase equity. If a stock account increases, equity increases. Retained earnings also increases equity. If retained earnings increases, equity increases. So far, so good. Now, what about those accounts under retained earnings? Revenues increase retained earnings. If a revenue account increases, retained earnings increases, thereby increasing equity. Expenses decrease retained earnings. A troublemaker. If expenses increase, retained earnings decrease, thereby decreasing equity. Dividends follow suit. They also decrease retained earnings. If dividends increase, retained earnings decrease, thereby decreasing equity. See, I told you there was a lot more to Ale. Time to spend a little more time getting to know him.